Hello, welcome back. My name is Katie and today we're doing the coffee book tag. So this tag has been going around the YouTube's booktube community and I wasn't tagged by anyone, but I first saw this tag on Cattytastic's channel, so I will link her video down below, check that out. And I will also try and find the original and link that down below as well. So basically, I have a list of hot beverages. Most of them include some form of coffee. And there's categories that go with each one. And I have to pick a book that corresponds with each coffee drink. So let's get started. So question number 1 is black coffee. And for this one, I'm supposed to choose a series or a book that is tough to get into but has some hardcore fans. For this one, I'm going to pick none other than City of Bones. I have only read this first one, and it was this past year, but I've had this book for over 5 years, I think since I was a freshman in high school, which is a long time ago, and it took me a really long time to get into this series, but I knew that it had some hardcore fans, so I really wanted to get into it, and I enjoyed this one, and I just started City of Ashes, and I'm really excited that one is getting better as I go through it. So I'm super excited to get into this book, and I'm really excited to start the Infernal Devices series. So next beverage is peppermint mocha. Yum. And for this one, I'm going to choose a book or a series that seems to get more popular over the winter time or over Christmas time. So for this one, I have to choose none other than Harry Potter books. I just love revisiting these during the winter when, you know, you're feeling down and you can't go outside and you just need some Harry Potter love. And also the scenes in these books, even though they take place throughout the whole school year, I think that some of the wintry scenes and definitely the Christmas scenes really stand out in my mind from book 1 on. In this one, I think the Yule Ball takes place right around Christmas, and there's winter. In the first one, Harry has to stay at Hogwarts, and it's his first good Christmas, and I love it. I love it. The next beverage is hot chocolate, and the question that goes along with this one is, what is your favorite children's book? I'm going with The Giving Tree by Shel Silverstein. I have all of Shel Silverstein's poetry, and this book has touched me in so many ways that I just go back and read it sometimes, and it's so beautiful. It's so beautiful, guys. Read this to your children, read this on your own, read this to your family. Go pick up this book if you have not read it yet. So the next beverage is a shot of espresso, and this I have to pick a book that has kept me on the edge of my seat the entire time. And for this one, I am going to choose The Infinite Sea by Rick Yancey. This book I flew through. I was up until 3 a.m. reading it, and I need more. It's so skinny. The first one is so thick. And then this one is nothing. We got nothing. And I need more, and I need it to come out, and it had me on the edge of my seat the entire time. The plot twists and it was so good. It was so good. Can you tell I've had espresso before filming this video? My next category or beverage is Starbucks, which isn't really a beverage, it's a store. But for this one, I'm supposed to pick a book or a series that I see everywhere. And I think this one's pretty easy, especially right now. It's gonna be 50 Shades. 50 Shades of Grey. I see it everywhere. I see it everywhere. I don't have it here. Sorry, I can't show you, but that's my pick. So the next one is the hipster coffee house bookshop, independently owned, locally. The places you should support instead of Starbucks. And for this one, I'm supposed to give a shout out to an indie book or an indie author. And this one I had trouble with because I'm not really sure what constitutes as an indie author. I feel like I have a lot of books that I have are pretty popular. I know that's not hipster of me or whatever, but I'm gonna choose Eragon by Christopher Paolini, mostly because I know his series got really popular, but he's a self-published author, which is awesome, and he wrote this first book when he was 15. And I feel like this series doesn't get a lot of love on the booktubes, so it's gonna get a lot of love from me. The next category is, oops, I accidentally got decaf. And that is the worst of the worst. That's the worst nightmare. And for this one, I have to pick a series or a book that you were expecting more from. I chose The Evolution of Mara Dyer, or the Mara Dyer trilogy. I really enjoyed Becoming of Mara Dyer. I think I gave it 3 stars on Goodreads, 3 or 4 stars. And then this one was just like, ugh. I was just expecting so much more out of this book, and I think it's because I don't really like the romance. Like, the romance was super cliche, and I was super interested in, like, what was happening to Mara and, like, the paranormal stuff, but then there were just chunks and chunks of sappy teenage romance, and I just could not handle it. That, I'm probably gonna get a lot of hate. I'm sorry if you like this series, I did not. The next beverage on this list is The Perfect Blend. And for this one, I'm supposed to pick a book that was bittersweet but ultimately satisfying in the ending. I'm going with Looking for Alaska by John Green. If you've read this book, you know why it's bittersweet. You know kind of why it's tough to get through towards the end and you're a little sour, but ultimately satisfying at the very end. I love this book so much. It's the first John Green I read, and it will be in my heart forever. Forever. So that was it. That was the coffee book tag. It's been going around for a while, so I'm not going to tag anyone. So if anyone sees this video and wants to do it, please do. And tag me in the comments so I can see your choices.